We generated around 560 plus million impressions organically. Those
creating property cards for the first time for people owning houses in the rural areas.
We have a patent on a bits technology, which...
But we were really guided by what we wanted it to be.
In terms of the content consumption pattern has changed.
Very competitive, very crowded.
The objective is basically to democratize cancer care.
I see a very bright future for retail industry.
Technology now allows us to scale up.
We also want to help patients become more compliant.
If I look at the custom solutions market, it's almost about $1,500 billion.
Your customers will not continue to be with you if you don't change gear.
We had adopted digitalization much earlier.
Within a very short span of time, we are the number one operator in the whole of South India.
If you are reaching out to a lakh people today, you would be reaching out to an entire globe tomorrow.
We got those two brands and then immediately got into a few of the LFRs and there was no looking back.
Hello, everybody, and good morning, and welcome to the 32nd episode of ASCENT Talks. My name is Ajit Panikar, and I'm an ASCENT member for 10 years, and I lead Nova, an air conditioning company, and Pure Blue, a tech-enabled startup in the air conditioning domain. And as usual, my co-host is Ali, who is not in India. He's in Mauritius, and if you see how close he is to the camera, that's because he's only in a t-shirt. Hi, Ali. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. It's a nice and bright, windy, sunny morning in Mauritius, and I'm happy to have ASCENT Talks travel all the way here. So great. And I'm also smiling not because I have 32 teeth, but because it's the 32nd episode of ASCENT Talks. So very, very happy to have all this over here. And if anybody is new and wondering what is this ASCENT we keep talking about, nobody better than Ajit tell us about ASCENT.
Thanks, Ali. Well, it's fantastic. You're taking the ASCENT Talks from your holiday. But to all our viewers who are watching us for the first time and want to know what ASCENT is a not-for-profit organization founded by Harsh Mariwala, Chairman Marico Ltd, and his deep passion for identifying promising entrepreneurs in the growth stage. Its primary objective is to support these entrepreneurs in expanding their enterprises and enhancing their entrepreneurial journey. Since its establishment in 2012, ASCENT has successfully empowered over 850 entrepreneurs throughout India. ASCENT stands out as a remarkable platform that fosters peer-to-peer collaboration, leveraging the collective strength of its members. And at the heart of this whole platform are self-facilitated groups known as trust groups, where entrepreneurs come together and share their experiences, exchange ideas, and provide valuable insights by creating such a vibrant ecosystem for learning and growth. ASCENT Talks, which takes place every week on Friday at 11 a.m., showcases the journeys of ASCENT members, highlighting their fascinating entrepreneurial experiences. So, Ali, let's get in our speaker today.
Absolutely. From all the speakers that we've had, here's a very, very interesting speaker, actually. So here's welcoming Viji Hari. Viji is the founder and the CEO of CecureUs. She's a specialist in diversity and inclusion. She's also a big speaker about the prevention of sexual harassment at the workplace. She's a serial entrepreneur, and she's got 22 years of experience of MNCs in India and US. She focuses on productivity and work culture, and she also heralds in the industry's first awards, which are the POSH Awards. Viji is also the recipient of the ILDC Women's Excellence 2020 and the Women of Excellence 2022. And she's also the author of 2 books, Behind Closed Cubicles and Break the Taboo. I'm looking forward to a very, very interesting discussion with you, Viji, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ajit and Alim, for having me over here, and to all the listeners and viewers. And thanks to ASCENT for bringing us all together.
Vijay, I'm a very poor introducer of guests. Normally, I've been doing a pathetic job. Every time I watch the recording, it's bad. But why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what do you exactly do? From where did this importance of Posh came across, and why is it so important for all of us entrepreneurs?
Lovely, lovely. Okay, so I have overall 23 years of experience, and the first 13 years, my journey was completely in the software side where I was working with completely Infosys technology. I grew up there as a fresher till a senior project manager. There was a time when family demanded time at home. I had to look at taking a break, but being a workaholic, doing the household chores was not my cup of tea. So I was contemplating on what to do, and jumping into the business. Being an entrepreneur was the bug that bit me then. I said, this is something that I need to explore. And in fact, the work from home thing was something that I started off from 2013 itself. And we grew up as an organization. And from 2013 itself, I brought back a lot of women who had taken a career break and brought them all together from across India. And we've been working remotely ever since then. Though luckily with the pandemic, the acceptance is much more now. Why Posh? Yes, in 2013, when I took the break, that is when the law also had come out in India, the prevention of sexual harassment for women at workplace. And being in Infosys technology, I was one of the early women who were joined there, and I was very active as part of the women network. And I've been already part of these sexual harassment committees over there at Infosys. That was something that was very, very close to my heart. And when the law also came out, there were a lot of lawyers who were talking about this topic, and it was all going over the head for a lay person like me who just came from a software background from an organization. So I said, hey, I understand employees, I understand workplace. So why not relate and talk to other employees from my own personal experiences and share based on my own experience and not the legal terms. And somewhere, touchwood, I think it's all about the passion. It was received well in the industry. And from there, we moved on to adapt to diversity and inclusion, which is again very, very close to my heart. And mental health is before the pandemic, we launched even the mental health space because there was a huge need for that. These are the three core areas that we've been focusing on.
That's amazing, Viji. But Viji, for smaller organizations like those entrepreneurs who handle MSMEs or those entrepreneurs who are in ASCENT, as it is, it's a challenge, right? One more law to kind of comply. But tell us the value proposition as to why did this law come out and how is it important for even smaller organizations to be compliant around it, and why was this law even important in the first place?
Okay, so if you take POSH, the prevention of sexual harassment, I'm going to be calling it POSH. The law very clearly mandates that any organization, be it institution, NGO, school, colleges, any organization, registered organization, has more than 10 employees. It can be all male employees as well. If you have more than 10 employees, you need to be compliant. Compliance is not that a big deal. You just need to have a small policy, a small committee. Create awareness and sensitization to employees. The objective behind this law is that one thing that we need to understand is that sexual harassment is something that is global. And it has been prevalent for years. I can relate. When I was a child, I was scared to walk in the street all alone because I have been harassed multiple times, right? And I'm scared now to send my daughter out in the street, right? I'm sure this is going to be there for generations to come. And based on the various surveys and statistics, at workplace, at least 10 to 15% of women definitely have been undergoing sexual harassment. And in the public place, if you see that like 95% of women, you pick any women in your family, you ask them, have you undergone sexual harassment? The answer would be yes. Okay.
95%? Is that what you're saying?
I would say 99%. I would correct myself, 99. Yes. Pick, talk to your grandmom, sister-in-law, anyone, talk to them. Anyone who's taken the public transport, anyone who's walked alone late in the night. I'm sure Bombay is much safer, yes, but there is no one. And when I say sexual harassment, I'm not talking about rape or physical assault. Even things like staring continuously, being stalked at what you're doing. See, that is also, it can create so much of mental trauma, right? So there are so many women when I've handled more than like 150 plus posh cases in my career, personally, individually as a team, probably 500 plus cases from across various different organization corporates in India. So women come and cry to us. They say that, hey, in this hot Chennai weather, I wear a jacket every day and come. And if I miss out, I forget the jacket. I feel so uncomfortable at work because there is someone who's staring at me. So that is a sad part. Yesterday I was talking to another lady. She was saying that, hey, in my previous organization, there was someone who grabbed my hand and pulled, and that's why I quit that organization. And now here again, there's this manager who keeps having dirty talks. This is something that is there everywhere, and she is taking some psychological counseling thing. It impacts people deeply that they're not able to work peacefully every day. That is how the deep impact is. And it's very important that we sensitize. And why even all male employees, why should we even sensitize? If your employees are interacting with vendors, if they're talking to customers, then they're also women. And the law very clearly states, I, as a woman, if I walk into a college or a bank or a post office or a hospital, all these are workplaces, and I need to be protected in all these places. Any visitor has to be protected as well. That is the level of sensitization that's required. It's about just creating a respectful culture where we respect the individual's dignity and give them a safe, peaceful working environment. And my value proposition is, see, the implementation, the sensitization is just not going to cost you much. But imagine the cost of handling one complaint that comes. You're in one case that comes in a year, you might end up losing 2 employees.
Yeah.
Right? And the cost of the legal cost or the brand reputation, the impact, the gossip that will happen among the team members, right? The reputation, that cost is going to be much, much higher as compared to that of being compliant, right? And still there's a lot of thoughts saying, hey, should we open the Pandora's box? Everything is going on fine, right? See, people may think it's going on fine, but maybe no one knows where to report, no one knows where to complain. That's why no one's opened up. Yeah. So definitely happy to, please do reach out to me. Happy to share some checklists online, which you can use that to be compliant quickly.
Fabulous. But Viji, you speak about sexual harassment as a very female-centric thing. I'm sure, you would have views on, even men being harassed in those ways. So can you tell us about, I know that you're a big advocate and you elaborate a lot about even gender-neutral policies on POSH. Can you tell us about that perspective also?
Yes. So why women? So one is law very clearly is for women. Women protects women at the workplace. And from my experience, 95%, 90 to 95% of the cases that I have handled as a team, as a collective team, are where women are the victims, right? So, and I don't deny men are not being victimized or the trauma, they don't go through the trauma, the impact is not that much. No, the impact is equally the same. But we're either not having more men speak up, or actually even the percentage. See, when I said the public places, 99% of women are going through harassment. The same thing I've done with men as well. Men have come back and said maybe 25-30% of men would raise their hand in a room full of men. Only 25-30% would say that, hey, maybe I went to a saloon and there I was abused, or standing in the bus stop and there was someone who called me. So I think they were gesturing. So less than 20-25%, 25-30%. So that is the state. But definitely I recommend organizations to have gender neutral policies, though the law says women. But going above the law, over and above the law, and ensuring your organization policy is gender neutral, where you protect all genders, male, female, and the other gender as well. That is something that is well accepted among the organization as well. There's much better reception on the law.
So, Viji, in the area of space that you're working, let's broaden this whole scope, beyond just POSH. You've also spoken a lot about the workplace harassment, which is caste, creed, religion based. And then also the challenge of the millennials who are now come into the workforce where, let's be honest, double meaning jokes and, talking about it. It comes very naturally to them. But with the cultural imbalances or the cultural differences, not imbalance, the cultural differences, this can be taken as offensive, right? How do you handle situations like these? And sometimes, we were all entrepreneurs, and they all say that this was with good intent. This was just with fun. And the law says it is not the intent, it's the impact. Can you just take us through that whole journey of what is this intent, impact, and what are the consequences around it?
Brilliant. So definitely, I think law has highlighted that at the end of it, it's only the impact on the individual. And one thing that we need to respect is India is highly diverse, right? We have people from various different backgrounds, religion, who speak different languages, different cities, Taiwan, Taiwan. So their upbringing is completely different. It's not one size that fits all. And at workplace now we are seeing that there's a huge mixed crowd. So it's very, very important that we respect that individual's preferences and choices, right? So I think that is something that is very, very important. So a simple example, a lot of times in cases, and this is a very, very gray area where people come back and say, oh, no, she's like my daughter. Oh, no, my granddaughter's age, why would I do that? I did not intend. But whatever it is, a simple example, there was a case where a senior admin head, he calls two colleagues on a Friday, hey, you look twinning, oh, come here, matching dress, is it? Oh, and then he scans them top to bottom, hey, nice looking, go. That's it, simple. And one of the ladies was like, hey, what did this person just do? Just calls me, scans me top to bottom, asks me to go. And that was in the open floor. And this is a senior admin. Remember, a senior admin doing this in the open floor. So her point is that, and she was also from the HR, she's like, what is the kind of example this person is setting to all the other youngsters over there? So she did not take it lightly. She went back and she brought it to the notice of the committee, not like a complaint, but she brought it to the notice of the committee. And when we spoke to the admin head, he said, hey, it was just with good intent. I was just trying to lighten the whole floor. But as leaders, one thing that we need to remember is we need to walk the talk and set the right example, right? How it is perceived by others. Right? I think that is what is important. One size just does not fit all. There are many minor issues that we face, but always it is not a standalone case that comes out as a complaint. So when this HR lady she filed a complaint, the point was for her, she's been hearing a lot of other inputs about that admin head. So she said, hey, I think this is enough. Even I'm now a victim, so let me, bring it out. That there are multiple such things, double meaning jokes and everything this person is capable of doing, has been doing. So that is when multiple things come up, then people lose their threshold and then they go and fight. So even a simple thing like there was one leader who went about asking a lady, hey, do you drink and do you smoke? Okay. A simple instance, very casual. Okay. But in the introduction when the lady had joined. But one among the team member thought that, hey, this lady smokes and drinks, so maybe she's open for other things as well. And he took her for granted and he tried to go and hug her on the day 2 of her joining in that organization. So imagine how things can. So I think we should, as leader, be at least cognizant of how things can be perceived, and not everyone think the same. So these are all. I don't want to scare these things by saying all these small things, but we never know when things can go wrong. So the point is to ensure that we at least sensitize the team, ensure that there is a committee that will handle internally and they keep sensitizing on an ongoing basis. And it's about creating a respectful culture. So my simple thumb rule is for everyone, would you do a particular thing in front of your child or in front of your family, a behavior or a dirty joke or a double meaning talk? Would you do that in front of your child or your family members? If you won't do that, don't do that at work. That's my simple thumb rule that I go about saying. Yeah.
This is the first time when Ajit and I both are halat kharab in this show. Both of us haven't smiled and not looking up.
I'm like,
we don't want to comment. We don't want to comment.
Scaring away the audience.
But tell me, Viji, okay, we obviously understand in the past 15-20 minutes that the problem is big. It's a big problem. Can you tell us 3 things that an entrepreneur should do to implement the POSH policy?
Okay. First is draft a policy as per the law and form a committee from within your organization. The committee is a minimum 3 to 5 member committee it should be headed by a senior women leader in your organization. And there should also be an external member where people like me, we come and fit in. So that is the committee formation. There are all tools and resources on my website available. The third one is sensitize your team members about it, all your employees, and also train your committee on how to go about handling and investigating a case, preventing and handling a case. So that is something that basic things. This is what is required policy from the committee, and sensitize your employees. These are basic checks. There are other small minor things which won't take much
So,
time.
Viji, we have a very interesting question that's come up. So, I want to know from you, have you come across a case where there has been women falsely alleging to get back? And these are promotions and, there are challenges, everything. Is there any, have you come across such cases like this?
Yes. So, when I said among the cases that I've handled, 90% of them victims are women. The 10% where men also victims are mostly because of false allegation. That is where I've had a case where men are victims. There has also been a case where male-to-male harassment, sexual harassment has also happened where men have been victims. So false, definitely cases where there's a breakup that's happened and the guy is going to get married to someone else. The girl wants to get back and take revenge, so she goes and files a false accusation. And cases of another very important point for managers and team leaders to observe is if there is any poor performance, you need to document it. A lot of times people fail to record poor performance. And finally, when they go into the performance improvement plan, at that time is when women are smart enough where they think that, hey, okay, if I go and file a false allegation, my job will be safe. So those are some reasons that we have seen. But very minuscule. But those are very minuscule. As I said, 5% is something that we've seen. So majority it is.
Niku, Ajit, you can jump in, huh? I think I think this Nikunj is apna dude, na, apna ASCENT ka dude. So he definitely have a very relevant question.
He will definitely have. And you have another question from Vishnu, who is saying that are there recorded trainings online for these as part of the guidelines?
Yes, there are a lot of. Even I have my own trainings available online. A lot on YouTube. There are videos of mine on YouTube available. I have some uploaded on Udemy as well. So there's a lot available on Udemy and Coursera as well.
Okay, so Viji, now let's put the scary part aside. We want to bring the entrepreneur out of you. We're done with it, man. 20 minutes of the scary part. You just stop thinking. Tell us something, yeah. What are the different challenges as an entrepreneur? You got into a space, you worked in Infosys, you actually decided to start off an enterprise. What are the big challenges you faced in building this enterprise?
I think I just jumped in without any clue of what is being an entrepreneur. And one of our ASCENT members, Praveen Shekhar, the outlier marketer, he has been one of my mentors ever since 2013. So he's been I've actually in fact inspired by him, his entrepreneur journey, being a serial entrepreneur. I thought, hey, if he can do it, why not me? But it's not that easy a journey is what I realized. But I think with the support of a lot of network and my trust group and everything, a lot of things are made easy. And at the end of it, I think it is the passion to take it forward. And I think the corporate has been kind enough to accept me as an expert on this topic. So that's something that's helped. Yes, there are ups and downs that are there, but pandemic, yes, we launched a new one that didn't go well. We wanted to do something else. I think we have failed in a lot of things. But those are learnings that we've taken it and moved on.
Fantastic. And Viji, can you tell us about two things? One is the CecureUs awards that you do, and your personal life. Tell us what do you do in your personal life, and I mean, what is it? Tell us about your family and your hobbies and things like that.
Okay, lovely. So my personal life, I'm married to Gokul, who's also into HR. He's with the corporate. And I have 2 kids. My son is in 11th grade and daughter is in 8th grade. And together we love to travel, watch a lot of movies, and we do a lot of trekking together. So that is something that passionate. And me and my daughter both are dancers, Bharatanatyam dancers as well.
Oh, wow.
So that's the bonding time with mom and daughter that we have. So that's about me on the personal front. And your other question was on sorry,
Secure Award. Secure Award.
Secure Award.
Oh, CecureUs Awards. Yes, CecureUs Awards, again, we launched it for the industry. There are a lot of organizations who've been doing it in the right spirit, preventing sexual harassment. Diversity and inclusion is again a very, very important topic where a lot of organizations have been doing it in the right spirit and putting in a lot of effort to hire people who are disabled or bring in people from the LGBTQ community into the workforce, or doing a lot for the minority groups. I think we thought, why not we recognize these organizations, because the HR have been doing in a lot of effort on that. That is the idea with what we went about launching. And this is something that we don't take any fee. There's no fee for nomination. It's only purely based on merit. And we have judges, jury from across the industry. Again, they are volunteering to actually select. For them, it's a learning for them as well to talk to all these people. And it's purely based on merit. And that is how we went about launching our CecureUs Awards. And 2 years are completed. And it was a huge success that every we did.
Super. Yeah, so Viji, we have close to about 4-5 minutes to go, and I want to touch upon a very important thing, and it goes in your name. You got a pronoun that says she, her, right? I really want to bring out certain things around this. We are a little old-fashioned, okay? And I've got 2 youngsters, 2 boys who are also getting into work, and I want to show you some of the messages that I've come across in their conversation. Okay, now this is how it is. Aleem is bringing their guitar. They want to play us a song later. I'm wondering, is Aleem going to sing alone, or he's got somebody else along with him? So I'm not kind of understanding this English. That's one thing. And I've come across messages like this. Viji is an incredible artist. Z always surprises us with some incredible talent. We love virus painting. And these are actual messages that I've received. I just replaced it with your names. And this gets confusing. Have I lost the touch of my language or anything? I also received a message. This has come directly to me. It says, Aishwarya is going to the park. Z wants to have picnic with her friends. Don't forget to bring hers back. I am completely lost. I said, I wish I'd studied in Hindi. I can't even understand this language.
Or I wish you had studied in English.
I am confused. Please educate us. What are the pronouns here? I mean, completely appreciate with due respects, but we are illiterate about it. So, and you spoke a lot about it. So tell us about it.
So, pronouns is something that's very, very important. Now the globe is very, very small. We have been interacting with people across the globe, right? Even if you're interacting even within India, like say names like Kiran, Surya, Aditya. See, these are all, would you call it a feminine or masculine name? Right? It's confusing. So if you just hear the word Kiran, you can just call, we're talking to a lot of people on emails who have not even met in person. You're working remotely. Your clients, your vendors, they could be working remotely, right? So how can you assume their gender, right? When you don't know someone's gender, the best is to use something called them and theirs. Okay? So, like for example, let's say if I'm receiving a sexual harassment complaint where Kiran is writing a complaint to me, I cannot assume that Kiran is obviously a female because I've handled majority of the victims are women, right? So I write back to my management stating that, hey, we've received a complaint from Kiran, they could be going through the issue. Because when I don't know the gender, the best is to address them as they or them. They or them is no longer plural. It is a gender neutral term for even a singular person that we can go and use. So that is why it's important. Even your signatures, email signatures, start using pronouns like Viji, Hari, she, and her. So that way, the person who's reading reading the email will know that, oh, Viji is a she. I can address her as Miss Viji or she and her. So that is why pronouns are very, very important. And in the globe, various different statistics have shown that 10% of a population are the one who have not decided, who are not sure, they belong to the LGBTQ community, right? And simple things like names can be gender neutral. When we don't know, it's best to ask. When you're talking to people on Zoom, globally, when you're interacting, when you don't know what pronouns, there could be people who are using he, she, or she, they. they're called agender, or they've not decided queer. They've not even decided what their gender could be, their gender identity. I think that is something that we need to understand and respect, that particular part of the people who are part of the other gender. And this is why pronouns are very, very important. And simple things like, see, a lot of times, even sensitizing if you're in BPO sector, you will understand. A lot of people from Airtel or banks, different banks, I don't want to take the company name, or they call me and say, sir, I want this offer, sir. I'm like, I have to say, no, I'm madam, right? So I think people are not just sensitive about, they just assume a particular gender. So it's very important that you address people. So that is what pronouns is all about.
Hey, I saw one big change in Ajit's.
Correct. I just learned something new. And if you haven't figured out my gender by looking at me, it's there in my name. Please look at it. It's very clear. But
I think one thing that we need to understand is it's all about gender. Expression is also something different, right? I could be a woman, but I would like to wear suits, and I could probably carry a short hair, right? Or I've seen a lot of men who cross dress. They wear nail polish, they wear dangling ears. They like to express what they want to. We cannot assume their gender. Let's just ask them. Hey, I go by the pronouns he, him. What pronouns do you go by? I think that is
that's amazing. And I think in any progressive society needs to change with the times and needs to adopt these changes that's happening. And I guess we're just one race which actually kind of keeps the chain and keeps moving ahead. But Viji, it's been such an educational 30 minutes here. We just learned so much. We had such fantastic time just hearing you out, getting clarity on a lot of front. But 30 minutes is what we have. And thank you for being with us. And thank you for sharing that information. It's been fantastic listening to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the great work that you've been doing. Kudos, and wishing you a lot more episodes on ASCENT Foundation.
Thank you so much.
We have 850 entrepreneurs. That's 20 years. This ASCENT Talks is going to go on. Thank you very much, Viji. Thank you so much, Viji.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And one definition that has definitely changed for us is no more can you say that's a very posh family. It's because that's going to mean something else altogether.
I know, that's also going to backfire. Dude, you got to think before you talk now. We can't be so impulsive about everything that we do now. But anyway, guys, we've just crossed over our 30 minutes. So get to ascentfoundation.in. And if you are truly growth ready, that's the link that you have, ASCENT Foundation. And if you want to be part of our cohort, get there, make an application. The ASCENT team will get in touch with you. And if you are growth ready, we'll be happy to have you as part of our cohort. So that's it for our 32nd episode. And we're going to see you next Friday at 11 a.m. with another interesting entrepreneurial story from an ASCENT member. Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful weekend.
Have a great weekend, guys. Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.